I have been extremely blessed to win this big Powerball. This will forever change my life, and I will use this opportunity to impact others. I grew up in small town Earlham, Iowa, very humble family. My father was a Vietnam veteran and a retired welder. My mother was a stay-at-home mom. Like my brothers and sisters, most of them before me and after me, when I was 14, I started detasseling and walking beans so that I could earn money to buy my school clothes and to help with the family. And at the age of 17, I left high school, and at the age of 19, I earned my GED. Soon after that, I started my family. I have 3 awesome, beautiful daughters. As a single mom, I worked full-time. I went to school full-time at nights and weekends, and my daughters had to sacrifice a lot for that. And the love and the support that I got from them was so appreciated, as much as the love and support that I got from many family and friends. My girls and I used to dream of winning the lottery. Never thought we would be here today. I played the lottery twice a week when I had the money to do it. And the most I had ever won to this point was $150. Friday, October 26th, started out like most other days, only it was kind of special for me because I bought my first home. I bought a home in Redfield, Iowa, and I was moving that day. And around noonish, the movers had left, my son-in-law had left, and my sister was coming up to help me pack. And I said to her when she got there, I'm really hungry and I need coffee. Can you please take me to Casey's so I can get a slice of pizza and some coffee? And so her and I, she took me in her vehicle because mine was full of moving stuff. And her and I went to Casey's in Redfield, and she got a coffee, I got a coffee, and I got a slice of pizza. And I said, oh yeah, and can I get my lottery tickets? And so I got my lottery tickets, and we went back out to her truck, and I just kind of set those down at the foot in my purse, or so I thought, and didn't think of them again until Sunday morning, when a friend, I needed to go let her dogs out, or her dog, because she was out of town, and she sent me a text, and she said, did you win the lottery? And so I called her because I was driving, and I said, I haven't had a chance. I said, did somebody from Iowa win the lottery? And she says, yeah. She said, somebody from Iowa and somebody from New York. And I said, well, I haven't had a chance to check my tickets yet. I'll check them when I get to your house. And I got to her house, I let her dog out, and went to check my tickets, and they weren't in my purse. And at that point, I thought, they're somewhere. They're probably in my house in my moving mess because I haven't even unpacked yet. And so I called my sister and I said, you know, I just talked to Andrea, and Andrea said somebody won the lottery. And she said, funny you should mention that. Your tickets are in my truck. And so I said, well, the Powerball's 4. Can you go outside and check my tickets for me? And she went outside, and she says, oh my God, Lerynne, the Powerball is 4. Okay, whatever. And she says, no, really. And I said, well, send me a picture. And so she sent me a picture, and I put those numbers into the ialottery.com, did you win? And when you get numbers right, they show up in red. Well, nothing showed up in red because I had the wrong date in there. So I put the correct date in, and it was red, jackpot. And I thought, I've done something wrong again. And it took me about a minute going back and forth to figure out that I had won. And I said to my sister, get that ticket, get in your truck, and get up here now and drive slow. And so then I called my daughter, and I told her that I needed her to come out because I think I won the lottery. And, oh, okay, she says. Nobody believed me. So the most important thing that we're all here for is to figure out what I'm going to do with the money. And I want you to know that as I stand here today, I know the responsibility that I have to do good with this money. And my life has changed forever. I plan to make thoughtful and responsible decisions on giving to my friends, my family, and setting up so that my grandchildren will all have a college education. And to help others, I have established the Callum Foundation. It's callumfoundation.org. We've established that foundation so that we can determine who best to help and how we can help them. But what am I personally going to do for myself with this money? What's the first thing I'm going to buy? I'm going to buy a car. Currently, I drive a Ford Fiesta that people have just beat up when I'm not in it. And it's got 142,000 miles on it. And I'm going to get a car big enough that I can take all my grandchildren places now. So,
Thank you very much. We'll entertain a few questions from the media. Any questions?
Are you going to take the lump sum, or how are you going to?
I'm taking the lump sum.
The question was, are you planning to take the lump sum, and that is a yes.
Yes.
What was going through your head
I'll repeat.
when you figured out that you won?
Okay.
What kind of thoughts?
Question is, what was going through your head when you figured out that you had won? Lerynne?
First I was in disbelief, and then I had the reaction of, I don't want anything to do with it. And you know, it's taken a while to get used to the thought of the whole new dynamic that my life is going to be.
And do you consider yourself lucky?
I do consider myself very lucky lucky and very blessed.
I would say so. Yes.
We had a chance to talk with folks in Redfield prior to you coming forward, and they said, I hope this person is from Redfield and gives back to the town of Redfield. Is that in your long-term plan to do so?
So the question was, they were out interviewing some folks in Redfield, Iowa, and wondered, they were all saying, I hope that at some point we do this. Sounds like this foundation will be able to do that.
So, yep, I've set up the Callum Foundation, as well as, you know, I'm going to take some time and make some very thoughtful, very deliberate donations and decisions on where those will go.
But probably the best is to find out
Callum
information.
Foundation,
And that
yes.
just went up, I believe, at 11 o'clock. That's in your press information. Next question, yes?
Do you plan on continuing to live in Redfield, Iowa?
You know,
I'll repeat
Sorry.
the question for you. The question is, will she continue to live in Iowa?
so as I stated, my life has changed, and I'm going to take a little bit to figure out what my new normal is. But I want to assure you that I never want to forget where I came from.
What is your occupation?
Occupation is the question.
So currently I'm retired.
As of when, Lerynne? As of when?
As of a week ago today, I'm retired, but I worked for Wellmark Blue Cross Blue Shield as a procurement analyst.
Another question?
Did you have a strategy at all? You said you played twice a week. Is there any strategy?
So the question is, did you have a strategy when you played Powerball or any of the lottery games?
No, I had no strategy. My thought process was always that if I was meant to win, I would win it.
Who's your family in Iowa? How many kids, how many grandkids?
Let's talk about your family is the question. How many kids? And I believe we even have a very special senior guest here today.
Yep, I have my mother who still lives in Iowa. I do have 7 brothers and sisters. I have 3 daughters, and I have 6 grandchildren.
Are those folks over there?
The friends and family, yep.
And man, Mom's right over here in the front row. Mom, we're not going to ask age. If you want to give it, you can give it a little later, right? Also in the audience, I see over here Mike Richardson, who is the Senior VP of Marketing for Casey's. Nice to have you here. And of course, lots of other dignitaries and folks here. In fact, we talked to the Losies this morning, who were the used to be the largest winner in Iowa. You now have become that distinction, and they obviously wished you the best of luck and
That's awesome.
all of the goodwill there.
I appreciate that.
Other.
You said you dreamt of this. How does the dreaming about it match the reality?
Totally different. You know, when we would dream about it, I would get all frivolous and I would have a whole lineup of cars that I was going to buy, and that's not the case anymore. All of a sudden, you know, once you have one and you realize the responsibility and you know, just the impact that you can make, all frivolity goes out the window. It's you know, I started thinking more of who I'm going to help, and my stuff has been sort of an afterthought to me.
You also, we preach this a lot when we know we have a big winner of what to do. You seem to already have planned what you were going to do if you won. Talk about the planning that you did prior to coming here today.
So prior to coming here today, one of the first calls that I made was to my brother, and he's an attorney. And although he can't represent me, he found me representation immediately. And my attorney, Mark Ward, pulled together an excellent team between my wealth managers, my CPAs, my PR reps, just people who have surrounded me and been great advisors and helped me through this and helped to make sure that the things that are going to happen with this money are in the best interest of me, and to make sure that it's going to last me a lifetime.
Yes.
So you talked about the Callum Foundation that you
The
made?
Callum Foundation.
Can you spell that? What is
CALLUM.
So the question is, what is the foundation that's set up, and you might talk a little about it.
So the Callum Foundation is set up in honor of a grandson of mine who was born in April, and he was born at 24 weeks, and he lived for one day. And so that foundation is to honor him and to do good for others.
I catch my breath here. Any other questions?
Did you pick your own numbers, or was that?
Did you pick your own numbers, or was it a quick pick?
I did not pick my own numbers. It was an easy pick, and I picked the power play with it.
One last question?
This is pretty emotional
Yes,
for you.
yes, has been.
So you're still processing.
Yes. Yes.
Is it still emotional? Any fun stories when you told family or friends?
Just nobody ever believed me, and not at all. They thought I was crazy, starting with my daughter.